So this evening I am going to work on mowing down my jungle garden. I picked most of the squash that I can see and a fair many of the tomatoes that I can see. There's a lot in there that I can't see, so I'm going to take the old trusty push mower around the outside perimeter and see what we end up with, because these weeds are really starting to drive me insane. Plus the sunflowers are pretty much done for as well. Let me spin you around and show you. There ain't a whole lot left on the sunflower. That one, the big one over here, it's got a couple yellow still on it, but for the most part they're done as well. But I'm going to mow around the outside of the cattle panels and through the center, just to see what we actually do have. I'll never be able to get back through this area here though. Between the garden fence and this, I'll never be able to walk through there, and I know there's some squash back in there. Not sure how I'm going to get it, but I may not worry too much about it as far as that goes.
He's going to town with the push mower. Bittersweet to see it go, but it's that time of year that things are dying off. It's time to mow stuff down, trim stuff up, get the harvest collected, and we'll show you the full bounty when we get done. Sunflowers are still blooming, lots dying off, but there's some very pretty ones right there. This cattle panel working great. Wow, what a difference that made. That push mower right there will take down some big weeds. You can actually get over here to the opening of the cattle panel now. I don't know if he's going to mow the whole thing or if he's just going to... Huh? He's going to town. He says, "You're done." Anybody else take their push mower into their gardens and mow stuff down? But that's how we do it. Nice one. Now we'll be finding all sorts of treasures. I don't know if he mentioned earlier or not, but I will be taking up the grow bags that we have, that I did up and lined up along there and here with squashes in. They did okay for us. They dry out too fast and you can't keep up with the watering. So we got a couple squashes off, but not enough to say much about. So I'm going to take them up. They're done for the year. And get all that cleaned up. There went a tomato bush. There probably went quite a few tomato bushes, because there was a lot of tomato plants growing. We have no problem growing them. And here he comes. Let's see if he's done.
Done enough. At least now you can see the ground.
That was crazy.
Yeah, tell you what, that little battery powered mower does a pretty good job.
It was taking down all sorts of...
Yeah. There's some tomatoes in here, but it was too hard to see what you had. So next year we'll have tomatoes out the yin yang. We don't need to plant none. We'll just have them. Well, we got most of the squash out, all but that one is the only one I seen that was still good. And I left several tomato plants up. I left.
You ran over that one over there. It just
there's a bunch over there. We'll have tomatoes growing everywhere next year, but that's all right though. Yeah, there's a squash here that I'm gonna have to cut the fence part way to get it out because it won't come out of there.
Oh my goodness!
I messed with it the other day a little bit when you could actually still.
And there's one on the other side.
Yeah, that's on the other side. I can't. It may fit through, but may not. But you can't get between them, and I'm not going to try to right now. I'm not sure what all is in between there. I know we planted some loofahs on here, but I've never seen them grow at all, so I don't know.
Oh, right there.
Did you see a loofah?
Yep.
I'm glad you do, because I can't.
Right there, it looks like a cucumber.
Oh, yeah, right there. Okay, I'm sorry.
So bad.
Yep. We got at least one anyway.
We got one. How many did we plant? Like 4?
I planted 3 or 4 plants is all. I don't know how they did. Everything started growing at once and everything just boom took off. So most of these squashes were done. I picked all the was they delicantes that there was the other day? Cushaw, sorry.
Cushaws.
I picked all the cushaws the other day. I think one of them was like 16 pounds or something like that. Out of 3 of them that were good, it was 30-some pounds. One of them the chickens got because it was about half mushy. But there's still going to be some tomatoes on here that I didn't cut the plants down. So we'll still be able to get some tomatoes, not many. But next
at least
year,
now I can come in and...
But next year there's going to be tomatoes everywhere because there's all over the place. Now I can get to my compost pile.
I can walk straight through again. I just hear crunching of tomatoes under my feet.
There's some pretty nice looking tomatoes. I don't know what kind they are, but...
Them's pretty nice big ones. Yeah. Like if they're cherry tomatoes.
Well, they almost look like a sun gold.
Yeah. I've never seen them get that big without cracking.
Sun golds are hybrids though, so these wouldn't be the same seed. Oh. Even if they were from that seed, they wouldn't be the same plant.
Okay.
Yeah, now I can get to my compost pile. Because I was working, last evening I was working on the garden itself. And this evening I was going to work on the garden. But then she wanted to pick some winter squashes, so we picked most. I think we might have all the winter squash. Now there's still some Hubbards down below that I didn't pick. But other than that, I think we got everything. We'll see what we picked this evening. Actually, let me sneak by you.
Take a little trip over to the table.
Take a walk on the wild side.
And let me come down this way. What all do we have here?
We got a fair many. This, I'm not 100% sure what it is. I would assume it's some kind of spaghetti squash just by the shape. And I would guess by looking at it, it crossed with something. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Could it be a banana squash or?
Could. I don't know if we had any banana squash seeds, but maybe.
I can't remember.
It may be. These is Long Island cheese.
They are so good.
These couple here, I'm not 100% sure what they are. I can't remember. I know we planted a bunch. These things here's huge. I don't know what that weighs, but that right there is heavy. And they look like they're pretty much pest resistant too. We had some vine borer issues down there, and there ain't a mark on. A little bit of a mark there, but there's. It looked like it did pretty good.
But
it looked like it did pretty good, so we'll definitely save seeds out of that big one right there. For sure. And we'll eat a few of these, and the chickens will get a few of them. These are a delicante squash.
Baby squashes are.
They're I can't remember exactly what they were called, but they are a delicante type squash. But she said the other day what the names of them was. This I'm not sure what it is. We already harvested 3 or 4 of them. And this is just an acorn squash, but it's a small one. We already harvested several of them as well. We didn't get a whole lot of them. We got a couple. These are some delicantes. These are the last of them. These here is a tromboncino squash.
They're pretty cool.
We grew these a few years ago.
And they got
bigger than these. These here, we got the seeds for these from Sean and Beth Doherty at the Homesteaders of America conference. Not sure what they saw, but there ain't no birds flying around.
I don't see no hawk or nothing.
I don't either. Maybe that truck scared them on the interstate. Sorry for being sidetracked. These we got from Sean and Beth Doherty. They raise these to feed their chickens with in the winter months, so we'll probably do the same. We'll probably save the seeds out of one of them, maybe 2 of them, and the rest we'll feed the chickens with.
They're supposed to be really good and healthy for your chickens.
Supposed to be. Save money on feed too, then you get,
Oh yeah.
So yeah. If you can save money on seed, you can essentially lower your egg prices. Once we see that we can save money on seed or feed. And make compost. Now that we got them up there, we should be able to make compost, which will in turn pay us to compost the garden, fertilize the garden, versus having to buy it. So we spent $700 on compost this fall. Last year we didn't get any compost, and I didn't have enough. So if we can not have to buy any, that's $700 a year that we can save. So, which that would lower our price, and the same with this. So hopefully we can lower our egg prices in the near future once she sits down and runs some numbers. I
think you're the egg guy. I collect them.
I might be an egg head, but I don't know about the egg guy. But anyway, we wanted to show you. We're just starting to get ready for winter. There's a lot of stuff we got to do before winter rolls around. I got to finish getting the beans down, taking the trellis down, and get that. I can get those beds composted. I got to get the garlic ready to plant. Got a fair bit to do, and we can't do it all yet because the garden's still doing good. Actually, we still got a lot in production right now. We got more green beans. We got some onions. We got Swiss chard. We got lettuces. We got you name it. We pretty much got it except for squash. The zucchinis, we harvested a bunch of them this evening too. They're in the house already. Those we're going to make relish out of. What we don't make relish out of, we'll eat. We'll probably not have any of them for sale anymore. But we may have. Once we make our relish and stuff, we'll see what we got. But their plants are almost done for anyways. So anyways, I'm going to shut up and quit rambling.
Put one of them big Long Island squashes in your mouth.
They won't fit in my mouth. But they are pretty good size.
Yes.
It's pretty nice.
Put it up to your head.
It's bigger than my head.
Oh my gosh.
I'd say weight-wise, this is probably the heaviest pumpkin we've harvested this year.
We'll put it in the description.
We weighed a couple of our
Cushaws.
No, our Blue Hubbards.
Oh.
And that one, the biggest one so far, was 19 point something. It was almost 20 pounds. I'd guess this year probably has it beat, but it's going to be close. It's definitely better. It's definitely better than that Cushaw. I'd say it's heavier than what that Hubbard was too. But we got a fair bit of winter squash, so we shouldn't have to worry too much about getting our carbs this winter.
No. Plus, I still want to get some butternut and spaghetti squashes.
Yeah, we'll get them off some local farmer because ours didn't. Well, I can't say that. Ours did pretty well, but the deer kept busting them open. They weren't inside the garden and they outside the fence. And every time they'd get about ripe, the deer would come smash them and eat them. They'd let the seeds there for us, but they'd eat the squashes.
So nice of them.
Yeah, they're pretty nice animals.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's going to wrap this up. So if you want to see how we get ready for winter and how we get all these beds ready and ourselves ready, just keep watching and subscribe and follow along. So till we meet again, take care and God bless.
See ya.